Cassi.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Man, life has been rough lately. But you know what? I have not been on TikTok. Like, I really went like a good month not being on TikTok very much. Mm-hmm. And the last week or so, I think I just hit a level of dissociation. Where I needed to just scroll. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy I did. Truly. I mean, of course, you're going to get the news, little tidbits of what's happening in the world, and what's happening in the world is very scary. But you also get what I think the internet was truly built for, which is people's remarkable creativity. Mm-hmm. And I love to see it. Yeah. So you two were on. So I think the biggest thing that's happening on TikTok right now is the group chat saga. Yep. You two were on it first, and then you sent it to me, and I watched all 3 episodes immediately. Mm-hmm. And it was so, again, she's playing all the characters herself of this like a group chat conversation. So clever.
If you haven't seen it, it's at Sydney Joe on TikTok, and I have so many opinions, and what's actually even cooler is how many people are also TikToking their opinions.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's hitting everybody's FYP.
Every demographic. People who you would not think would be interested in this have an opinion on it. It's amazing.
Not the shit couple being called Haley and Justin.
Oh my God. How did I not get that until just now?
Yeah.
Wow.
There are so many questions to be answered. First and foremost, spoiler alert. So if you are not in this saga, go watch it. It will take like 3 minutes of your time and then come back. But first and foremost, I feel very strongly that Justin has no fucking idea.
No idea. So let's let them know. So definitely go watch that first because it's better. But for a quick recap, what's happened is there's a girlfriend group chat. They're all supposed to be having girl night dinner,
which of course
that evening.
Have. And it's not this messy, but
yeah, but like, yes, you arrange, and obviously this has been arranged like a month in advance. Right? Because that's what happens as you get older. You have to like make your girls' night plans like in advance. It's to me, as you get older, it's sacred. It's a big deal. Yes. It's like, this is the time we're going to spend together, get out all of our stuff, So,
and it's no boys allowed.
None.
I'm sorry. It's no boys allowed.
Knows. Every guy would be 100%. Like, yeah, of course.
And I really love your partners, both of you. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll see them another time.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
We'll have a co-ed party at another time.
That's right.
So the day of the girls' night dinner, like not long before the dinner, they get a text from that one girlfriend, Haley. I feel like there is always one, especially when you're in your like 20s, right?
Yeah.
Like they get a text from Haley, and Haley's like, my boyfriend Justin had a really hard day today, and I just don't feel like I can leave him alone, so I'm gonna bring him to dinner tonight. And this totally happens where all the girlfriends are like, how are we gonna handle this? There's like separate side chats.
Yes.
about,
yes.
Like,
so
I'm gonna say something
real.
And so like they tell her like, you can't bring him. She leaves the group chat. Then she wants to come back to the group chat.
Oh. Girl, when someone leaves the group chat, it's a message. It's a big deal.
It happens to us.
It has happened to our group chats before.
Yeah. And the way it was like big news. Like when that happened, like it was such big news. The number of side chats that happened whenever those
Side
people,
Quest City, girl, we were like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh. Phone calls were happening. We were like, what's going on? Are you going to reach out to them? No, I'm not going to reach out to them. They can reach out to me. It was a whole thing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So then she wants to come back. They're like, they make up or whatever, and they call to change the reservation back down to 9 from 11. And she's like, yeah, I know. We just changed it today. And then the restaurant's like, no, actually, it was changed two weeks ago. what is Haley's game? Do you think that she thinks Justin is cheating?
I think she doesn't trust Justin to be alone. I think I don't know whether she really thinks he's cheating, but Mama needs a girl's night more than any of them, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Or is it just, I feel like there is always that person, especially in your early 20s, like maybe you haven't had that many relationships before, who just is glued to their partner's side. Like they just want to do everything together, and they feel like that is how it should work.
It's like, insecurity. It's insecurity.
Yeah. If you weren't, and you know what? I'm going to go beyond just like dudes, right? Like if you weren't explicitly invited to the girls' night, you're not invited to the girls' night. Now, if I wanted to bring another girlfriend, I would not invite her before having a full conversation with all of the girls who are already coming.
That's right. Because it changes the tone of the conversation.
It changes it. Yes. Yes.
Shit, and there might have been like freely gossiping and like just dissing shit about. You're like, I don't feel free to do that now because I have to feel like inhibited by a person I don't know or boyfriend or who might be friends with my boyfriend or whatever. And I don't want that.
Yes, exactly. And they even said that on the group chat one where she was like, you know, I have some issues I need to bring to the group, and I would just prefer if it was just us girls kind of thing. And I'm like, that is the nicest way to say, like, leave your fucking man at home.
Right. I mean, and if you really think that you can't leave him at home by himself, like he's had that hard of a day, then you stay home.
Then you don't go.
Like, that's a choice you're making. You don't bring him along just because, like, that's not how this works at all. It reminded me, Cassi, of early Real Housewives of New York. Do you remember when Aviva, she couldn't fly? Like, she had like a real hard time flying.
Yes.
So they were supposed to have a girls' trip to like, I don't know, St. Bart's or something.
Yeah.
And it was like a girls' trip, and she wasn't going to go because like she has trouble flying. Instead, she's like, okay, I'm going to come, but I need my husband to be with me because I can't do the flight by myself. And it made like, it blew up because exactly for that reason, like Ramona and Sonia are out of their freaking minds. But when they told her, like, it changes the vibe of the girls' trip to have your husband here. Like, we get it that you couldn't fly without him, but then he doesn't need to stay in the house with all of us because it changes the vibe of the house. We thought it was going to be all girls, you know?
Yeah, that's got to be so awkward for the dude too, which is why I was saying, like, Justin has no idea that he's showing up to girls' night. Like, what guy wants to crash they're talking like 9 girls. That's a huge girls' night. And I don't know any guy that'd be like, ooh, I want to be the only guy there.
Or even if he knows he's going to be the only guy, he certainly doesn't know he's causing this much drama. Like, she's not telling him because, like, definitely, unless he was just like the biggest piece of shit, like, definitely he'd be like, whoa, like, if it's that big of a deal, I don't need to go. Like, go hang out with my guys or whatever.
Go hang out with your guys.
Yeah. No way. But they left us on a cliffhanger because the end of episode 3, they had to change the restaurant last minute.
Group chat steakhouse.
The way she dropped a trailer like that was going to be sufficient. Honestly, I dare. Like, what?
She better upload soon or the internet is going to riot. But when one of the girls from the group chat arrives at the new restaurant, Justin is there. Cliffhanger.
Yeah. And here's the thing. She says, hey, Justin, not hey, Haley. So is it just Justin there? Is he there with another girl? Like, what is going on?
The drama.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we will all have the answers, I imagine. But
so to that note, somebody had posted a TikTok about, like, she's like, I am wrapped up in 2 dramas right now. And it's not The White Lotus or Severance. It's the group chat and Shauna the mom. And so I was like, well, now I have to go dive into Shauna the mom. There's 1 million videos, but I started at like a point where it was like the girl is like, it's the same woman doing all 4 parts. And she's talking to her mom. They're about to go out to dinner. And then the mom ends up inviting her and her husband to come to dinner with them. It's like a whole thing. And it's just,
I'm going to dive into that.
Yeah. And then they were talking about baby names over dinner, and the mom's like, "Oh, but I don't like. What about Greg Jr.?" And the dad's like, "Oh no, I don't like that." And they're like coming up with like all these like really cute like Brex and this, and she's like, "What are those sounds you're making? Those are awful." It's brilliant. Yeah,
the internet really like. I feel like these TikToks, group chat, Shauna the mom, these types of things are really keeping us, the eaglets, please.
Yeah.
These are the things that are uniting us and keeping us going. Honestly.
That and Cory Booker.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
thank God for Cory Booker. Oof.
Here's what I have to say about that. I think one of the issues that the left has is perfection impedes progress. And that we're looking for somebody that ticks every single box. And in this day and age, I think it's impossible. And I saw a lot of people saying it was performative. We live in an attention economy.
Of course it was performative. Duh.
We needed it. We needed it. I think it was something. It is something now that in the record books, it's Cory Booker having a 25-hour detailed with a binder. Like that is a millennial girl's binder if I've ever seen one. I'm fucking sorry.
There's Lisa Frank stickers on it. I saw.
Point by point for 25 hours saying everything that is fucking wrong with this situation that we're in.
I don't care if it was performative. I don't give a shit.
Me
like
either.
We had to do something. Like we had to do something. Like
of course it's performative. That is the very nature of what he did. Is performative.
Yes.
It is performative to create a point, and which he did.
Right. To get a point across.
Yes.
Yeah. I cried. Oh. I watched it all day because I saw him start the night before, and then I woke up and he was still going at work, and I watched it all day. I had it on. That man.
Can we just say the fact that this man then went and answered questions afterwards?
Yes.
I need a nap after I run errands. Like yesterday, I went to 4 different shops and came back and was like, I'm exhausted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this guy stood up there, no bathroom breaks for 25 hours. And then afterwards still went and answered reporters' questions. I would be like, I need to collapse. Leave me alone. I need an IV.
Right. Yes. Immediately.
Fluids. Get me fluids in here immediately.
Incredible.
Wow.
Truly, incredible.
Listen, and good for him. And you know what? It does start with something performative. Something needed to be done.
Someone had to say it too.
Said.
Yes.
Yeah.
I look, we've been asking for somebody on the left to be like, hey guys, this is really not fucking normal. What's happening is not normal. And it shouldn't be this way. That's been part of the problem, is just us and the media and everyone just kind of acting like this is, is this weird? I don't know. More at 11. It's no, it's fucking weird. What's happening is not normal.
People here legally are getting sent to fucking El Salvador prisons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even when they find out that they've made a mistake, they're all shoulders. Nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's wild. It's wild. So we need TikTok. I need hot dogs dancing to pop music.
Yes.
That came up and I was like, this is, I'm here for this.
I also think that Netflix and producers and that kind of thing need to take note. There's a reason why group chat is so popular. That's the sort of intelligent subtext and situation that we've all been in and we all have opinions about. I'm like, and we need more women making content.
Yes.
But you know what? I did see Justin Sewell, the Paloma Diamond person.
Yes.
Did you see Paloma Diamond actually went on, what was it, like Good Morning Today or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, you sent that. Yeah. He went on as Paloma Diamond and it was fantastic. I was just like, if this is the direction that entertainment is heading in, I am here for it. I love this.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's like we're truly in this like level of escapism and diabolical.
We need it.
You know, like
we need it. Like there's a certain amount of my brain that I know I need to devote to paying attention because it's important. Right? Like paying attention and being prepared because we're in a place right now as a country, as a world that we've never been in before. And so it's important to keep your head on a fucking swivel. Yeah. But there's also, for my own sanity, a portion of my brain that I need to devote to like being out in nature, in my garden, reading a fucking book and just scrolling for fun, not doom scrolling for fun, you know. That stuff has to exist as well. Cuddling with my cat. So Christina, I am continuing my Severance journey. Speaking of things to keep us distracted.
What episode
my
are you
watching history, I think like 6, maybe. My watching history is bizarre. I watched so much Law and Order SVU, and then I watched so much Hoarders. And then I've been interspersing that with like an episode of Severance because I know I really have to pay attention to Severance.
Yeah.
So I can only like watch it when I know that my brain is like fully engaged. But oh my gosh, I learned such an interesting fact. So, okay, I was at team lunch with my work team. And we were talking about Severance and we were talking about Adam Scott, who underrated, said he's so great in Severance and is actually really great in everything.
He's so funny.
But when we were talking about it, my coworker was like, I can't watch anything with Adam Scott in it anymore because I used to subtitle shows. And she's like, I had to subtitle a show called, I think she said it was called Tell Me You Love Me. Oof. And she was like, it was real celebrity couples having sex.
Oh, what?
And she was like, it was on like Showtime or something. And she's like, so I have seen Adam Scott fucking.
I'm like, me. Not me looking this up right now.
What?
And I was like, do you see everything? Did you see everything? And she's like, no, you see everything. She's like, it is like celebrities having sex. Ian Somerhalder's on an episode, she said.
What?
I was like, how have I never fucking heard of this? And I looked it up on IMDb and I was like, wow, this is a real thing.
No.
And so I'm like, I don't know.
They just made their own home porn?
I guess so. It's just like celebrities, like, and they're not like, you know, it's not Julia Roberts or whatever, but
these are people
we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I not me searching. What? Tell Me You Love Me streaming right now.
I think it's on Showtime or something. I was shocked. Taken abacketh.
It is on Max. It is on Max.
I can't do it. What? Christina, are you going to watch it?
What?
You bet your fucking bottom dollar I'm watching it. Are you kidding me?
I need a full report. I'm so sorry. I'm going to need a full report. There's no way I can watch it. I feel like I can't watch it.
Adam Scott having sex. I feel like I could watch Ian Somerhalder having sex because he gives you that vibe.
Oh, with his wife? It's so fucking weird. It's like watching Mom and Dad.
Weird.
I don't want
It is weird.
Dude, Demi Lovato's on it.
No.
Oh, no, that's her official video of the song Tell Me You Love Me.
Okay. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I was like, I don't know if she was old enough because I think it was back in 2009. Because it was like the year before Parks and Rec came out or something like that. Yeah. And I was just like, this is insanity.
Adam Scott fucking his wife?
Immediately, if not sooner. I'm going.
I am not interested.
What? I was like, are they undercovers or what? And she was like, no, you see. She's like, I've seen his penis.
I am.
Christina is excited.
My face is hot.
My face is hot. And No, I am shook.
For different reasons. I'm getting you both in my
sweaty.
Skype screens, and the reactions are very different from the two of you.
Oh, yeah. Let's
Wow.
go.
God.
I've had a crush on Adam Scott since, since Waiting. I had a crush on him.
Oof.
And no, that wasn't him. It was, what was the little indie movie he was in? I can't think of it right now. But then also Parks and Rec, Ben.
Step Brothers.
Yeah.
When he's singing in the car with what's her name? Step Brothers.
Well, Christina, you're tasked with watching it and letting us know your feelings. We're going to need a full report once you've watched it.
Yep.
Wow.
Will do.
But speaking of Severance, we've talked before about the amazing character work. I don't know the name of the woman who plays Helly, but I find that character to be one of the most, like, from an actor's perspective, like one of the most interesting characters to play. And if you haven't seen Severance, I won't, ruin anything for you. But I find that so interesting. And I love character actors, just period. So I propose that we fuck, marry, kill famous character actors, people who like are good at jumping into any of these like weird roles and crushing it. So I think John Turturro is a big one.
Yeah.
You
got Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, Helena Bonham Carter. I think I'm going to go with Helena Bonham Carter as a character actress. Amazing.
Okay. John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. Yeah. That's a big
That's
one.
a good one.
Dude, I watched Tombstone this week in honor of Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Him as Doc Holliday in that movie.
So good.
Oh,
hot.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's so many good ones. It's almost like super hard. We'd almost have to do like famous character women and famous character men. And I think since you picked Helena Bonham Carter, I am actually going to pick Parker Posey.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. Yeah,
I mean, this is one we could do over and over again because I do feel like there are so many.
Right.
Who,
I mean, like you got Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm going Juliette Lewis.
Oh,
Juliette
there
Lewis,
you go.
Great. Yeah, great. I feel like Parker Posey and Juliette Lewis are almost on a similar.
Very similar.
Yeah, trajectory.
I'll be honest, and I think we do need to look up their signs, but I feel like Juliette Lewis might be a little too weird. Whereas, like, I could put up with a Parker Posey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all three of these women are wacky, but in
the weird,
completely
different ways.
You're
right.
Completely different ways.
I gotta know their signs.
Helena Bonham Carter is interesting because I think she's like real life kooky, just based on the way that she dresses, how she is in interviews, things like that. But
I would guess she's like an air sign for sure.
Yeah, I get that vibe. But she also does a lot of like period pieces and things like that, and she's equally amazing in those.
May 26th, isn't that's Gemini?
Mm-hmm. And that's Helena.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Parker Posey's a Scorpio.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Ooh.
That makes sense too.
Yikes.
I feel a fire sign for Juliette Lewis. Am I right?
I feel that way too. Maybe a water sign though. Oh, June 21st. So what's that, Cancer?
It's like cusp, I think.
I think that's technically I think that's a Gemini
Leo?
too.
Oh, no. Oh,
it's a Cancer. She's Cancer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, why did I not immediately know that? Because my dad's birthday is like right there too. Yeah. Also makes total sense. So we got a Cancer, a Scorpio, and a Gemini. Well, then I stand strong with what I was going to do originally, which was marry Helena Bonham Carter. Makes so much sense to me. It's literally like my style icon. I just want to be her.
I was going to say, you two could share clothes.
Oh my God.
You could share a closet.
I just want to.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And also, doing her hair would be fun.
She'd
let you do whatever you wanted.
Yeah. And then, to be fair, I gotta fuck Juliette Lewis. That bitch is crazy. You know that shit is going to be fucking wild.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
going to be wild.
Oof. I'm struggling with what to do here. I think I'm going to marry Parker Posey, actually.
Okay.
I think for me, like, I think her sense of humor strikes me as extremely dry, but also has a silliness to it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every time I see her, I think it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Her character in Best in Show.
Amazing. Yeah.
So good.
Waiting for Guffman. She's great.
Oh.
I do have to say this, Christina, and this is not a negative. So take it in the, way that I'm conveying it. I think you and Parker Posey are going to be so mean.
Oh,
together.
So fucking mean. Oh my God.
I want to be your friend.
Yes.
I want to be friends with you and Parker Posey because I do not want to be on your bad side. You will roast, the two of you would roast me to oblivion. Can you imagine? Like,
I can, and it turns me on. It really turns me on. This whole top has turned me on. First, you're telling me about Adam Scott sex tapes. And now I'm picturing me and Parker just literally at a nice restaurant.
100%.
With the tablecloth, you know? And I'm just picking apart bread and just talking shit.
Talking shit. Yes. Yes.
I'm scared of you guys.
God.
They're scary.
It's the best. And then, I think I gotta fuck Juliette Lewis too. Yeah.
That shit's gonna be bonkies.
Oh, just absolutely. And it can only be because here's the thing: Cancer being my sister sign, my dad was a Cancer. Like they're kind of like, they're very similar to Capricorns, but in the way that they differ is so fucking annoying to me. Like
that makes sense as a sister sign. Yeah, that does make sense.
I'm like your emotions. Ugh.
I have a lot of girlfriends who are Cancers and really love them, don't know that it would work. Pisces Cancer relationship I think is going to be difficult. Same because the thing is, you got Pisces Scorpio, you got two water signs, but one of them is gonna hurt your feelings.
This is really not working out for you.
This is tough. But you know what? I have had very good luck. I've had very good luck with female Geminis.
I love Geminis.
Very good luck. So I think I'm gonna marry Helena Bonham Carter. I think it's gonna be weird. It's certainly going to be a bit strange. And I think, but you know what? I think I have the right personality to just kind of like let her be. In terms of just like, I don't know. She is her own person. She's going to do her own shit, whatever. And I think that she is also really smart. I think that she's got a little bit, I think she comes from a bit of like an aristocratic family.
She does.
Even though she is a bit of a weirdo.
I think her grandmother was like huge as to like women's rights and that kind of thing. Like, yeah.
So we're going to go see like a lot of classic plays in London. And she's going to really appreciate that. And I also really appreciate that stuff. I love a good period piece. And I know she wouldn't shy away from that kind of thing. So we're going to have I think we're going to have a good life together. And, you know what? I'm actually going to fuck Parker Posey.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm going to fuck Parker Posey. I feel like
Scorpio.
And also she's mean, but she's going to make me laugh, you know, like I feel like none of it is intended to actually hurt my feelings. And we're going to have like a really fun time. We are going to talk shit on our date before we hook up, you know, like I think it'll be good. Also, I think she's going to pull some shit out of her hat. Like I think she's got some stuff going on. So I'm going to fuck Parker Posey and then I'm going to friend Juliette Lewis. Okay. But it's going to be the type of friendship where like we can only go out together a couple times a year.
Yes.
Because you're going to get me in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah. She's the bad influence your mom was talking about.
100%.
That's your friend. Your mom's like, I don't like that you hang out with Juliette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
Sure. And we're back. Okay, I will kick us off with stories since I have the Tainted Love this week. It says, it was a Bumble date. I was very young, dumb, and spent a lot of time outside. He suggested I show him my favorite hiking trail, and I agreed. Totally stupid, but at least it was a busy trail, and the main loop was more like a walking path than thick wilderness. Very smart. There was some light rain, so we sat in the car together, waiting for it to slow down before we started hiking. He took his meds in front of me, which is no big deal. What was weird was that he kept offering me one of his Klonopin, and I said no like 3 times.
No.
We're
That's
going
not a sharing drug.
No.
It's a sharing drug.
Isn't not like a Klonopin like a sedative?
I feel like it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like something that would make you go night-night.
Yeah, that's not like an activity.
Yes,
drug.
it is, because you know what? My friend takes it for when we fly. That's what she takes is Klonopin.
To chill out, right?
Yeah, it relaxes her and makes her go to sleep.
Yeah.
This guy's the bad influence friend.
100%.
Yeah, I like that.
When we were hiking, we talked about our lives. He was new in town. He had wealthy parents who owned a second home in my town and let him move in there rent-free. He had met a bunch of random people on Bumble Friends and let them all move into his home without charging rent. He was
Chaos.
he was making an artists collective.
No.
This is rich people bullshit.
Yeah,
No. Oh, no.
Making friends on Bumble Friends and just being like, move into my artists collective. Okay.
Sounds like my nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
They didn't make much art. They mostly drank and smoked weed all day.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That sounds right.
I told him I was in nursing school, and he said that it would be very hard on him for me to be in school if we got into a relationship.
Okay.
I need you to just be at home in my artist collective smoking weed with me all day. Like, it would be hard on me for you to be in school.
My nightmare.
No.
This is your nightmare. Yeah.
After hiking, we went to Target. He spent $50 on different kinds of socks and a laundry basket. His sense of humor was making weird noises at other people shopping, which was embarrassing.
Oh my God. Oh, this is real rich people behavior. It's cannot
on
relate.
drugs. It's rich. It's trust fund baby on drugs.
Yeah.
Can
No
you imagine
consequences.
Yeah, with a grown man who's just like squawking at strangers and thinks it's funny?
Ugh.
No. I drove him back to his car at the trail, and he left socks in my back seat. So he spent $50 on socks. I feel like we also have to address that.
How many socks?
A
Or
lot,
just
I guess.
best? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Target's gotten kind of pricey, but even still, yeah, the guy's just like, whatever with that $50. Like,
bizarre. To take your date to Target to buy socks is weird. He left his socks in my back seat, so I had to meet him again and quickly give them back. My phone died, and by the time I got home, I had 15 missed calls from him.
Nope, too many.
It's too many. I felt a bit creeped out by that. He had spammed me a bunch of texts asking if I was okay over and over. Mind you, it had only been an hour since we went on the date. We had only talked for a few days and gone on one date, so it was too much. I told him it was nice to meet him, but didn't feel a connection. He didn't stop texting me.
No.
The next day, he tried to call me multiple times and texted again, asking if I was okay, over and over. Your brain is fried.
Yeah, go hang out with your artist collective.
Yeah,
dude.
you have a house full of people.
Yeah.
I ignored it. After a few days, he sent texts saying he had a dream I died, and it was so real he was looking for my name in the news. I didn't reply. He sent me a text that said, "Fine, this is how supervillains are born."
Oh my God.
Okay,
Wild.
Lex Luthor.
I blocked him.
Okay.
This is how supervillains are born.
Oh no.
Bro, just
So embarrassing.
What do you think is going to happen after you say that? What if she was like, "Oh my God, you're right. I better be nice to you." What the fuck is wrong with you? Dude, you are... Wow.
Delulu.
All right. So, my story. Matched with this girl on Tinder. We chatted for a few weeks, and I decided to put in the effort and book a high-end restaurant for our first date. You know, a place with nice ambiance, good food, an overall classy vibe. I figure it'd be a great way for us to get to know each other. But from the start, something felt off. First, she shows up 20 minutes late. No text, no, hey, I'm running behind. Just walks in like it's totally normal. I try not to let it bother me, but still, a heads up would have been nice. Then the conversation, or rather lack thereof, I tried to break the ice, asked her about her day, her hobbies, if she'd been to this restaurant before, what dishes looked interesting, but she barely gave me anything to work with. Short answers, no enthusiasm, nothing to keep the conversation flowing. It was
here
awkward.
If it's like that, I now in my big old age would just be like, you know what? Don't waste a whole meal.
Yeah.
Just be like, you know what? I just feel like, you know, we're not really connecting. You know, thank you for driving out, but I'm going to head out. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Don't, because to me, especially now that I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, one of my great pleasures in life is to go to a nice restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, I love to go to a nice restaurant. I love the anticipation of looking at the menu ahead of time and deciding what I'm going to have. Like, the whole fucking 9 yards. And you're not going to ruin that for me. I'm not going to have that experience ruined because you're just not into me in that way, you know, or there's not a connection, or there's a million different reasons why this person
just not
showed
participating in this date at all.
Exactly.
But you know, I think the fact that it is a nice restaurant would keep me locked in, because I'd be like, I want to eat here.
I really want to eat here. I picked this place on purpose. Maybe I'll just.
I'd be like, could you leave?
Yeah,
I'll enjoy this meal by myself.
Maybe go be like, I'm going to go to the restroom and like go to the host and be like, actually, this isn't work. Like, get your own table. You know what I mean? Like, just leave the date.
Just move your table. You're just. She looks over and you're like sitting at a table across the room.
That's actually so funny.
Fucking amazing. Diabolical.
Wouldn't that be great?
Because I don't want to miss out.
No,
you made a reservation at this nice fucking place. Like, I still want to eat my meal. You know what I mean? Like,
I was looking forward to the crispy rice, spicy tuna. You know,
Listen.
like I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
so fucking funny. But then, this is when it truly gets bizarre. While we're waiting for our food, she pulls out a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, God.
Places it on the table and starts playing Mario Kart.
No.
At a fancy restaurant.
That is so fucking embarrassing. Like, what are you doing?
I was so caught off guard. I just stared at her for a second thinking, is this real? Is this happening? Then, as if this was the most normal thing in the world, she gestures toward the second controller and asks if I want to play.
Well,
what? I mean, I love video games, but this is a date at a nice restaurant. I'm sitting there trying to have a conversation, and she just casually racing down Rainbow Road.
I need to know which character she was playing. We always joke when Eric and I play Switch together or whatever, like we'll get high and we'll play like Mario Kart or Mario Party, and whenever like Princess Peach comes in, like, or is it Princess Peach? No, it's Toadette. We're like, chaos. You know, we'll make up things to the like, I'm never gonna call you again. Chaos. Like, so this chick is totally giving that energy right now.
I was gonna say Yoji, but I think you're right. I politely declined and just awkwardly sipped my drink while she kept playing. Can you imagine? Like, it'd be like taking your kid to dinner.
I really want them both to be like in their late 30s as well.
God.
Do you know what I mean?
God.
At this point, I wasn't even sure if I was on a date or if I was just watching someone kill time before heading home. Then, when it's time to order, she doesn't even look at the menu. No interest in the specials, no curiosity about the food, just flatly tells the waiter,
Babe,
I'll have a burger and fries.
Babe, you can go home. Like, seriously. Like, swing by McDonald's, swing by Mickey D's on your way home. And you can go play video games in your living room. Like, leave me alone to have my nice glass of wine and my filet or whatever the fuck I'm having. You know?
Right.
What are you doing?
Look, I love a good burger, but why agree to a fancy restaurant if you're just going to act like you're got it at a food court? To top it all off, her table manners were not great. Like low effort, borderline gross, complete lack of etiquette. At this point, I was just counting down the minutes until the night was over. I assumed we'd go our separate ways, but then she asked if I want to go on a second date. What? I was so
We didn't even go on a first date.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a date.
I was so shocked. I almost laughed. Like, how did she think this went well? I respectfully declined, paid the bill because apparently I was the only one making an effort that night, and left feeling completely confused. So tell me, is this normal? Am I overreacting? Or was this date just an absolute train wreck?
No, it was a train wreck for sure. And also just like, this, you don't go to a fancy restaurant on a first date. Like, lesson learned. Yeah, like, you don't know this person. You got to wait until you know if, like, what they're like before you take them to a fancy restaurant. You got to hit that
coffee date. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people aren't made for fancy dining.
Prime time.
You know?
No. This person, definitely not. A Nintendo Switch, and all I'm picturing is just like the fanciest restaurant I've ever been to. Yeah. And the waitress coming up and she's like...
Burger and fries. Sorry, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Awful.
Okay. So I'm going to preface the story by saying the story is one thing, and then the resolution that happens later on down in the comments is what makes me laugh. Okay. So this is a Tinder hookup fail. Oof. Got texted from Tinder around 11 p.m. last night. Pretty woman, bit older than me, exchange a few texts, and she invites me over. No pretense except a neck massage. After a bit, I make my way over. I get there and go direct to her apartment. She doesn't even meet me in the lobby. Spidey sense is going off, and I've got my guard up.
I'm sorry. Just to pause, my Spidey senses started tingling at neck massage.
Yeah.
What conversation were you having where it's just like, come over to my apartment for a neck massage?
Yeah, no, we know what that means.
Right? I mean, like, I'm not
come over and let me tickle you. I mean, ugh.
Oh, I don't like that, Cassie.
Yeah, it's a hookup. Yeah, exactly. But she doesn't meet him in the lobby. She opens her door as I walk up and lets me in. She's as pretty as the pictures, wearing a white robe. She's already poured the wine glasses. We sit on the couch and chat. To be honest, I'm a bit nervous. She asks if I've been with someone her age. I say no. She says she's been with someone my age, but no younger. We engage in some light conversation. She's encouraging me to go further. I asked if I could feel her hair.
What's going on?
What?
I'm sorry, this whole thing is so weird.
What? In my mind, she has a roller set, by the way, like an old...
having a conversation?
I want both of you to know that you guys have not been on Tinder and have not done a Tinder hookup, but this is about as awkward as they are. Like,
this is real life, is what you're saying.
Yes, this is real life. Can I touch your hair? She says I can feel more than that if I want. Eventually, I start to fulfill the visit's pretense and give her a neck massage. She says, I can
spit my coffee.
I hate this.
She says, I can slowly work my way down, which I do. I say maybe we should lay down. She turns to kiss me for the first time.
And her teeth fall out? Like, what? Where are we going?
We start making out, but eventually she starts to get weird about it. She asks what that noise is. It's normal kissing noises. At one point, she laughs. I ask, what is it? And she says, nothing, just got flashbacks. At some point, she starts turning her head to the side. I think she wants more neck kisses, But eventually I realized she's literally dodging my kisses.
What's going on?
What? She asked me to kiss her breast, which I do, and I start to finger her, and she's encouraging it. After some more of this, I stand up, prepared to lead her to the bedroom. As soon as I stand up, she tells me she's nauseous and doesn't want to go further tonight. She keeps apologizing, and I'm like, it's okay. It keeps saying she's nauseous, and this never happens. Eventually, she goes to the bathroom, comes out, and says she threw up. Does it again in a bit. I go in the bathroom, but there's no evident signs of vomit there, nor on her. At this point, I take my cue and leave. One of the most baffling Tinder experiences I've had. No clue what to make of this. So people are responding in the comments like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, etc. Only to find out when he went over to her house, he comments this. He had been working very hard that week, and he hadn't showered for over 6 days.
What?
Bro, what? Like, you buried fucking lead. How do you make a post on Reddit asking what the fuck happened, all the while knowing that you hadn't showered for a fucking week? Are you kidding me? Also,
oh my God.
Who does that? If you
Did
know
you
you're
wash
going
your mouth?
Over,
Did you brush your teeth?
Even if you did, even if you brushed your teeth, your like BO is not hot. Like, I have never smelled BO on someone else and been like sexy. Like, never.
Oh God.
Ew. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with people? Bringing out a Nintendo Switch at dinner, not showering before you go to meet somebody for the first time and you know you're going to hook up. Like, you're dirty ass dick. You haven't showered for a week? No wonder she was like, don't put it anywhere.
Oh God.
The comments are fucking killing me. Someone just goes, your breath stank, dog.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. What's that sound though? That's getting me. I'm like, what was it?
What was it?
Yeah, he must have been just like his dirty, unwashed mouth, sloppy kissing her.
Oh.
Yeah,
does he have a tongue ring, I wonder? Sounds juvenile.
I really can't like trust him now. You know what I mean? He's an unreliable narrator because him saying this was normal kissing sounds. Now I'm like, was it?
No.
Were you doing weird, sloppy Saint Bernard shit? Like
you were doing too much. Have you ever been with a loud kisser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
something.
What is that sound? It doesn't have to be that loud. It's fucking weird that it's really loud.
Yeah. The guy that I was with who was a loud kisser was also a loud eater. It was the same. It was just like, you don't need to do that.
Keegan, I know that you were talking about food, but
it never got that far with him. But I like for science, maybe I'll call him up.
Ew, bro. Why'd you do that, Keegan? That was awful.
You just did it.
I didn't do what you did.
God. Dude.
I've seen them making mac and cheese.
Oh my God. Like sir, there's no need to be this loud. Like,
no. For any of it.
For any of it.
God, like, learn just why. Why are people seriously?
Truly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Yeah,
Sounds
that was
good.
a lot.
And we're back. Keegan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
go ahead with your damn self.
I will.
Know what I'm going to say. Just Keegan.
I got this story on YouTube and I wasn't sure because it looked very cheesy at first. It's a like Channel 4, like British Channel 4 show called Love Cheats. And I was like, I don't know, like this is going to be like some silly ass shit. But actually it was done really well. And I was like, okay, like maybe this is something that I will, just bookmark that for the future, for future Tainted Loves. But I'm going to jump right in. I'm not going to tell you anything about what it's about.
Okay.
So in 2017, this woman named Megan Clark, she's like this beautiful blonde young woman. She's 20 years old. She has this beautiful life in the Isle of Wight. She was born and raised there. She's really successful for a 20-year-old. I guess, she started working right away, must have been working throughout her teens, managing restaurants and bars, because she was approached by someone who was like, hey, I'm going to renovate this old pub and turn it into like a chic bar. And I would really love for you to manage the bar and kind of like be with me on the process of like renovating it and everything. So she's 20 years old. She helps him renovate this bar and turns it into like this really successful, chic kind of bar for young people in the Isle of Wight. So she is successful. She's got her own place. She's the only one of her friends. She's got a good, tight group of girlfriends, and she's the only one of her friends who has her own place. So they spend a lot of time doing what people in their early 20s do, which is just like partying, hanging out, enjoying being young. Her friends describe her at this time as like a serial dater. So she's not looking for love. She's not looking for any. She's like,
girl,
really focused.
get your bag. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. And so she'll go on like several dates a week with different people and nothing super serious. But one day while she's working at the bar, she notices this guy come in. And Isle of Wight, I've never been there, but I think it's a small enough place where it's just like, if you've been there your whole life, you kind of know everybody who's around, and you can notice whenever somebody new is, coming into the place. So this was someone she didn't recognize before. And also he definitely felt like an out-of-towner. He was dressed really, really nicely, had a really nice watch, had a really posh accent. So she takes notice of him kind of right away, and he notices her too. He comes over, they have a conversation. They end up talking kind of all night, and they hit it off. Like they're both really smitten with each other. So the next day she gets a bouquet of flowers delivered to the bar with a card that says, I would like to take you out on a date, like dress nice. I'll pick you up tonight.
Ooh,
and for her, she's like, it feels like a movie, it feels like a rom-com, So she does. She's really excited for this date. He picks her up in his Bentley, and they go to dinner at this really, really fancy, like 5-star restaurant, right? There's champagne. It's like a fairy tale. So they have a really great night. They end up going back to his place for tea, and she's like, and it was just tea, right? Like, but it's like they've really, really hit it off, and she's like smitten kitten completely. She's being swept off of her feet. And she learns on that date that he is a lord. So, and his name is Bertie Underwood. So Lord Bertie Underwood, and his,
why
both of you? Wow.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, but why do rich people have the weirdest names? Like, come on.
Truly, because they can get away with it. Was it last episode where that guy's name was Edmonds? And it's like, what are we doing?
What,
you guys?
why? Yes. Why?
Why
There's no
plural?
need for this.
Why are there more
I
than
don't
one
understand.
Edmonds here?
Yeah. You're one person. But he's a lord,
Bertie
and
Underwood.
also Bertie Underwood. And he's a descendant of the creator of the Underwood typewriter. So they really like each other. They end up going on a second date, and soon they're seeing each other all the time. Now, he does leave the island pretty often for work, but always when he returns, he showers Megan with gifts, like very expensive gifts, lots of boxes from Harrods, jewelry. Eventually he buys her a car, and she's like, I've never had somebody treat me this way before. So the relationship moves pretty quickly. By the time they've been dating for about 2 months, he asks her to move in with him. And she's aware that this is fast. Like, it feels fast to her.
Yeah.
It feels she has a really good relationship with her mom, and it feels fast to her mom as well. But her mom is like, but they seemed really happy. Bertie was like part of the family. He got along well with everybody. So, I wanted them to be happy. So she does ultimately agree to move in, and the two indulge in a lot of trips around Europe. They spend a lot of weekends in London. But Megan's friends, Megan's mom really likes Bertie, but Megan's friends have noticed a change in her. And part of this is just something that happens when you're in your early 20s, when you get into a relationship that's like, you fall head over heels, your frontal lobe isn't developed yet, and you're all about that person. You invite them to the girlfriend dinner because you lost your fucking mind, No, so
but I also think
normal
that financial difference, and it's not like she wasn't doing well, but she wasn't,
she was doing very well for 20.
Yeah, but I think sometimes like the uneven financial situations can be intimidating. At least I get intimidated and feel a kind of way when I went on dates with people that had a shit ton of money. I don't know. It's just, it makes you feel, I think it also
feels like there's
opens you up. Yeah. I think it also opens you up to be like abused in that way too. It makes me nervous.
Because it makes you feel like you owe them or whatever. And there's the normal level of kind of, I think we've all been there, and we've definitely all experienced it with our girlfriends when they get into new relationships where everybody else kind of disappears for a minute. That's the early stages of a new relationship. And there's a normal degree of that. But I think you also do trust friends when it feels like she's completely changed or she's completely off the map. There's no time for any girlfriends. You know what I mean? So her friends feel like they never saw her. It went from being all the time we're hanging out, doing girlfriend fun stuff together to now Megan is never available. We never see her. And Bertie also didn't like that Megan was working at the bar, because he's like, I don't like the people that come into the bar. I don't like that you're out late so much. So he is like, will you leave that job? You can leave that job and work for me, work for my business.
Yeah. And, so now everything is under him.
And that is so even though Megan's mom likes Bertie, that's what she says too. She's like, I really cautioned her because she had this really good thing going, where she's building up her own career. And now you're living with him. He's really paying for a lot of what you're doing, and you're going to be working for him too. So
he owns
pretty
you
much
now.
Everything is about his life, But she ultimately does agree, and she starts doing the social media for his, he's a horologist, which is like a watch repairer, clock repairer type, but it's expensive. It's like Rolexes and shit. It's like very high end.
I'm just laughing at what to social media manage for that kind of thing.
She's just posting, like they showed some of the posts, and it's just like giveaways or like just posting pictures of him working on watches. Shit. So on Christmas,
it's
6
giving
months
repair
after,
shop to me.
It's like it's rich people repair shop. This is a trust fund baby job, I feel like. Not that it doesn't require skill.
Yeah. Oh
not
my
to
God.
insult
Yeah.
the horologists out there.
I'm talking about the British repair shop, right?
Oh no, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I always. Yeah. I think you're right. It is a rich people job, isn't it?
It feels that way because it's kind of just like you're doing this full time and you're driving a Bentley. Okay.
Yeah.
On Christmas, 6 months after the couple first started dating, so it's only been 6 months. So 6 months after they start dating, on Christmas Day, Bertie asks Megan to marry him. He proposes with it's a beautiful ring. It's an enormous teardrop Cartier ring. And Megan is over the moon. She agrees. The couple start planning their over the top, like royal wedding right away. So no expense is spared. They're going to have a June wedding, of course. They like booked this really fancy estate, beautiful kind of like palace-like estate to get married at. And Megan is excited at the prospect of soon becoming Lady Underwood. I mean, it feels like it would feel like a fairy tale. If you're 20, 21, like this feels like, how could I be so lucky? It feels like a movie. You were just working at a bar and this guy came in and swept you off your feet and now you're living this incredible
It's life. Like that Pretty Woman fantasy kind of thing, except without the whole sex worker angle.
Correct.
Yeah.
But, things are going swimmingly. She's super happy. She finds her wedding dress. They've got things are moving along well. But then 2 months prior to the wedding, so the wedding is coming up. And it's around this time. So when Megan moved into Bertie's seaside mansion on the Isle of Wight, she did notice pretty much right away that they would get mail for other people. Like mail that's addressed to other people. And she would question this with him. And he's like, it must have been the previous owner, like the people who lived in this house before, it's no big deal. But it goes on and on, right? And she continues to get mail. They continue to get mail for other people. And she says that she's not sure exactly why she does this. I think it's really just that intuition thing. They're 2 months to getting married. She can sense that something just isn't quite right because she's like, I don't know really why I did it, but about 2 months before the wedding, I went into his office and decided to just like look around.
Do a little snoopsies.
Do a little snooping, right? And while she's snooping, she finds in one of his office drawers a wallet with a bunch of bank cards in it. And all of the bank cards have different names.
Ooh, scammer.
Yeah, so she's freaking out. She doesn't know what to make of this. So she confronts Bertie about it. And this poor girl, she's 21. She knows she needs to talk to him about it, but she says, which is so relatable, that like she's shaking, right? Because like, I'm conflict avoidant. I don't want to have to, tell somebody like, hey, I was snooping through your stuff and I found this. Can you explain it? It would be hard for me to do. So I love that she acknowledged that, because I think sometimes we can think that people are just bold and brave and, hey, what the fuck is this? And that's not, not at all how I would be, but she knew it needed to be done, right?
Hey,
so
Bertie,
could you
I accidentally dropped my pencil and it rolled underneath the door of your office. And then when I was going to get it, I tripped and I caught myself on the drawer and I saw this thing. Like, it's probably fine, weird. But if you want to,
it's probably nothing.
Sure, it's nothing.
But like, I just thought maybe like, so she confronts him about this and his demeanor changes completely. He gets really defensive, really irate, won't directly answer any of her questions. And so, of course, now she's like, well, this is way more suspicious than it was before. And also she's like a little scared. So she calls her mom. Her mom is like, just come over here. Like, let's talk it out, have a cup of tea, try to like, figure out what we should do next. So she goes over to her mom's house and they decide, like, Megan remembers several of the names that she saw on the bank cards and the names that were coming in on the mail. So she's like, let's Google these names. So they Google the names and what they find completely shocks them. News article after news article, different mugshots of Bertie. He's a serial fraudster. He has scammed millions from banks, Bentley dealerships, 500,000 pounds from Harrods, jewelry,
shit.
Watch collectors, so on, so forth, right? This has been going on for years. He'd even been convicted of fraud previously, served time, came out, and pretty much just started right back up again. So this is just his way of life. He was not, in fact, a lord, though he had been telling people, he would tell people he was a lord. He would tell people he was an earl. He had perfected this kind of posh accent and the clothes, would spend a lot of money on clothes and watches. He had actually grown up on a council flat, and his real name was Robert Majeski. So Megan was in shock, but she started staying with her mom. Didn't go back home. She was staying with her mom, and that was nowhere near the shock she would feel when credit card bills started arriving in her name, followed by phone bills and car payments that Bertie had taken out, all using Megan's name and information.
Oh, no.
He racked up 30,000 pounds in debt in her name.
Wow.
And she was now responsible for this. She went to the police, and they basically told her that there was nothing they could do, especially the things like the car bills and the phone bills, because they were in a domestic partnership. They were considered a domestic issue.
Oh,
and
that's
they wouldn't do
bullshit.
anything about them. Yes. So she was on the hook for all of this 30,000 in debt. So, and
Could have
in
been
addition to
hella
that,
worse.
it could have been worse. Yeah. Since the wedding was now obviously off, Megan and her mom decided that the best thing to do, they were like, well, we still have the ring. Let's sell this Cartier ring and pay off, some of this debt. So they went to go get the ring appraised. Fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fake ring. So it was worth next to nothing. So she is on the hook for all of this money. Despite everything that he'd done, Bertie wanted a chance to speak to Megan. So she finally gives in, and he tells her, I really did love you. I never intended for things to go this far. And then he disappears from her life. So Megan's mom, love this woman. She decided that if law enforcement couldn't help them, she was going to take to social media so that at least they could get his face out there and people would know what to look for. So with Megan's help, she wrote a lengthy post detailing everything that Bertie had done alongside a photo and posted it on Facebook and other various places on the internet. And it soon went viral. So the post was shared thousands of times, and Megan was messaged by people who recognized Bertie and said that they too had been conned by him.
Damn.
She also received message after message from people claiming they were in a relationship with Bertie at the same time that she was living with him and engaged to him.
Brutal.
And many of these were men that Bertie had met on Grindr or Craigslist.
Oh, girl, get tested.
Yep. So one such man was a guy named Mike. So Mike had met Bertie about a year before Megan and Bertie met, and he was using his real first name, Robert, whenever Mike knew him. So he referred to him as Robert. So the two met on Grindr, and they soon started a friendship. I don't really know if it was a sexual or romantic relationship, but definitely they would hang out together. They were close. He also was told that Robert was a lord. And one time the two were hanging out. Bertie, mentioned that he had planned a trip to Venice with a friend and that friend could no longer go. And did Mike want to go instead? And everything was paid for. All they had to do was switch over his information. And he does it like right in front of him. He's like, I'll just pull it up. I'll, put your information in here. And he is like, all I need to submit to like the travel company, travel agent, whoever it is a picture of your passport.
Wow.
So Mike's like, sure, yeah, here's, a picture of my passport. And didn't really think anything of it.
Of course,
and then
you wouldn't.
a while, you wouldn't. It's your friend. Like if one of you had asked me for that, I'd be like, yeah, no big deal. A while later, Robert told Mike that he was locked out of his eBay account, but he's like, I have all these items I need to sell, watches and stuff. Can I just use your eBay account to sell these things? And again, not thinking anything of it, Mike was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So Mike soon began to receive messages from people who claimed that they had purchased a Rolex watch from Mike's account that they had not received. The messages began to escalate. These people were furious, obviously, because some of them had spent like tens of thousands of dollars on this watch, right? And it was all the same watch. Like when they would submit pictures of like, this is the watch. So Bertie had gone into his eBay account, had sold this same watch over and over again to different people for varying amounts of money, all in the thousands, and with no intention, obviously, of giving this watch to them. So Mike contacts eBay and he's like, what is going on? And they're like, well, for major purchases, we needed like proof of your identity, and you submitted your passport to us. So he had taken his picture, so he goes to Robert Bertie and is like, hey, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I will sort it out. Like, I'm going to sort it out. And then disappears.
Bye. Ghosts. Yeah.
Leaves.
Bye.
Ghosts. And that's when he moves to the Isle of Wight. So he leaves, I think they were in Hastings. He leaves Hastings and he goes to the Isle of Wight, and that's where he meets Megan. So he just saddled this guy with this like fraud, So when Mike sees Megan's post, he decides that he needs to get involved. He goes to the Hastings police and gives them evidence and helps gather evidence from others who have come forward to say they were scammed by this guy. And ultimately, they do decide that they have enough to proceed with a jury trial, though Robert could not be located. So it was like in absentia.
Yeah.
He was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years in prison. About a year and a half,
because this guy is never gonna not be.
He's never gonna
fucking
stop.
Criminal. Like, it's fucking insane.
No.
And it doesn't. These people are serving a longer sentence in paying back or dealing with the consequences of his actions.
Right. Mm-hmm. You are. I think because people see these financial crimes as like less heinous than violent crimes, but you are really, really doing significant damage to people's lives.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
like,
right.
In a really real way.
You are 100% changing the trajectory of somebody's life.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like where she was before she met this dude and where she could have gone is very different from the path she ended up having to walk because of his actions. So I definitely don't think 5 years is enough.
I mean, and that's not even accounting for the emotional toll.
Right.
Like this poor girl, you can see she's kind of like smiling throughout while she's telling the story, but she has a few moments, and I'm wondering if it's that like British stiff upper lip thing where she starts crying and she says like, I don't know why I'm crying. And it's like, girl, you had something truly traumatic happen to you. Like really, really actually emotionally destructive, where you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with this person. You truly loved this person. You know what I mean? And like all of it was a lie. Yeah. It's okay that you're struggling with that. That's,
Yeah. But I do think that people find themselves like, why didn't I see it? Like they give themselves a lot more blame than necessary in situations like that. They're like, I should have seen it. I should have known. And it's like, why would you have known?
No, he's a professional con man.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He knows what he's doing. You're not the only one who was conned, but it does seem like he conned her in emotionally, the emotional toll of like a long-term relationship. You're engaged to this person. Like they had a dog together.
Oh no.
It's, that's crazy. So about a year and a half after his sentencing, Megan has moved on with her life when she receives a Facebook message from a man saying that he was Robert's boyfriend and that the two, and that he too had been scammed by him, and that he wanted to let her know that Robert had been apprehended and was now in jail. So Megan was left again with not only the $30,000 in debt, but she also had the task of canceling all of her wedding plans, which is no small feat. All the invites had already been sent. She'd already booked the venue. She'd already had the cake. She bought the dress, like all of that stuff. There's costs involved with that. And also, again, the emotional toll of that. But Megan is a really remarkable woman. She worked really hard to clear the debt and soon began her own successful photography business.
Nice.
She is now in a new relationship. She owns her own home at 27 and her own business. So she really managed to pick herself up. She put her head down. She paid that debt off. And she moved on with her life. 27 months after being arrested, Bertie escaped from prison.
Oh my God.
And that was in 2022. In December of 2024, a man named Bernie Brown came forward to say that in 2022, not long after Bertie Robert escaped from prison, that he met him, but he was going by Leo at the time, and the two began a relationship, and Leo soon moved in. Wonder why?
Yeah.
It's on the run.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
Really weird orange jumpsuit on. It was
so
wild.
strange.
I was kind of into it.
Was also scammed and left with considerable debt and eviction after Leo used his bank cards under the pretense of purchasing and selling luxury watches.
Jesus.
By the time Bernie discovered the depth of the deception and who Leo actually was, he had fled. So, Bertie Robert Majeski is still on the run.
No.
Whoa.
To this day. Yeah. He has not been apprehended.
Yeah, let's get that face out there.
Yeah, I'll put the information if you're in the, I think they said he had ties to Sussex and Kent. So if you're in any of those areas, keep a lookout for this motherfucker.
I bet he's
But he
someplace
could be anywhere.
Random, like Canada or something.
Yeah.
Or Germany. I'm going to watch for him.
Yeah.
Watch for him.
Yeah, you definitely, I can't wait to look at his picture on their Instagram.
Probably looks so fucking normal.
Yeah, he looks normal. Like, he's just like any guy. He's got kind of a baby face. You know?
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Con artists.
Scams.
They fascinate me. People that can pull off scams. I consider myself to be an all right person when it comes to confidence, but not as much as a confidence man has. Oh my God. Con people really get me.
I don't know how you live with yourself. That's really the thing for me is the guilt.
The guilt.
You have to be able to compartmentalize in a way that I will never be able to understand.
Or just be a sociopath and just not give a fuck about anybody but yourself.
I guess so. Yeah. Because it's just I don't know how I could look this person in the eye every day, go with them to taste cakes for our wedding and do all of this stuff, get a dog together, go on trips together, have Christmas with your mom. I don't know how I could do all of that knowing what I'm doing, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Insane. And also it is that classic thing that we've talked about before where it's just if you put this much effort into something else, you could be a legit millionaire if you just put this much effort into something else. But you have to put the effort into
scamming people,
conning and scamming businesses and people.
Wow.
Wow. Wild story. Good story.
That was wild. Yeah.
Thank you.
Con artists. Woo. Well, what are you guys watching this week? Actually, I'm going to tell you, I watched something this week that your story reminds me of, and it was Anora.
Oh, shit. Did you like it?
I really liked it.
Okay.
Did you best
I'm gonna watch
picture Oscar like it?
Out
Chris
of the-
liked it because he was like, I don't know if it's the
out of the other ones that were involved in the category, it was the movie I enjoyed the most. I haven't seen The Brutalist, just because I have a life to live and not
3 hours of drab gray cinematography. It's not, you're not feeling that?
But
No,
wait a second. But what about the Demi Moore film? Better than
I liked The Substance. I enjoyed Anora more than The Substance, and I liked The Substance.
Okay.
Anora is very much, I feel like it's a modern retelling of Pretty Woman.
Yeah. Okay.
And I also really liked how it ended, and it was funnier than I thought it was. I laughed a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
It's funny.
The trailer reminded me so much of Uncut Gems, just the way the trailer was shot. I think reminded me of that. And I was just like, is this movie going to make me feel anxious?
Yes. I thought the same thing.
And so I was scared.
No, I think that you guys would both enjoy it. I think that you should watch it. It's funnier than the trailer makes it appear.
Right.
So
awesome.
I definitely recommend it. And I liked how it ended too. So yeah, I want you guys to watch it. And if you do, you have to text me what you think. So
Okay.
Okay. Deal.
I did. Okay. So I have to preface mine, what did I watch, by telling you that I've been sick this whole week. I've been like homesick, fighting bronchitis. It's been blah. So I've been spending a lot of time watching like TV and just fucking vegging on my bed and doing nothing. And I was listening to a podcast, and I'd kind of run out of podcasts to listen to because you have like your so many that you listen to in a day, it gets you to and from work or whatever. And I started listening to Blank Check, which I've never listened to before, but it's a movie podcast, and they're doing some Spielberg movies, and they started talking about the movie Always, and I was like, oh my God, Always holds such like this place in my brain of like a movie I watched probably too many times, and like it was a movie I think we owned, so I watched it. And the guy,
I've never seen that.
It's
what movie?
It's Richard Dreyfuss. Always. It's Richard Dreyfuss.
I've never heard of
Hunter. And it's okay. It's not. Listen, I'm not going to oversell it. I remember loving it as a kid, but from what they're saying, it's not probably as good as I remember. So I'm not like, go out and watch it. But it's Steven Spielberg.
Well, now I've got to.
Steven Spielberg. And I remember it kind of giving me that Top Gun feeling. This guy is like fighter, or he flies planes, but he flies planes to put out fires. Anyway, I'm telling you all this. I did not watch that fucking movie. What I did was start a cycle of like, oh my God, nostalgia movies where I was like, I haven't watched this movie in so long. And there's been this movie that's lived in my brain for rent-free from the time I was a child. And it all stems from this like scene that I had playing out in my head, where I always thought it was Bette Midler gets shot and she like falls dramatically, and it's very believable that she was shot. And then she's like not dead, and the guy comes over and she's like, oh, you thought I was a bad actress. Okay, like this is something like I acted this scene out. Okay, like as a child, I would like go around like, oh,
I miss Bette Midler in movies.
I know.
Okay, so all that to say is I watched Outrageous Fortune, which I fucking highly recommend. It is incredibly funny, and I forgot how hilarious it is. And my child brain mixed up. It is Bette Midler in the movie, but it's Shelley Long that does the like fake getting
love
shot
Shelley
thing.
Long too.
So it's the two of them. It's a wild romp. It has some classic 80s, casual racism.
To be expected.
It's got all the things that you expect from the 80s. The funny thing is that it has casual racism, but it kind of also knows that it shouldn't. It's a weird thing, like that 80s comedies did in that time that like I forget about. It's like, like we all know better than this, right? Wink, wink. You're like, but you just said, and that's not cool. But it's like all with it's not, I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to explain away racism in a movie that has two.
Yeah, you don't need to, Cassie. Yeah,
but
like
it's a fucking 80s movie. It's so stupid and it's so funny. And I love Shelley Long and I love Bette Midler. So It was great. Yeah, I had a romp.
I'm not watching anything new right now. It's the same old shit that I've been watching. But I'm going to give a recommendation for something I watched quite a while ago in light of recent news, and that is Val, the documentary.
Oh, yeah.
The Val Kilmer documentary.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it, it's
good.
I mean, prepare yourself for it, because it's sad, but it's also like really hopeful. Like he holds
Heartfelt
on to this like really beautiful perspective on life, even throughout his illness, and he can't really speak at the time when the documentary is being made because he had throat cancer. So his son narrates the documentary, and his son sounds exactly like him.
It's wild.
He sounds just like him. So you do forget that it's his son narrating the documentary. And yeah, it's really lovely. And I think that he was a really underrated actor. He never won an Oscar, I don't think, but he took his craft very seriously. Kind of a weird, eccentric guy, but very true to himself, it seems. And yeah. So R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Oh, sorry. My dogs are going crazy.
You don't have to apologize.
Well, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have a terrible date story, if you just want to reach out and say hello, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.